What's up, YouTube? It's the Action Figure Grader, also known as John, coming back to you with a video. And I think I promised this in my last video, I cannot remember, but I did get some first generation Polish bootlegs on eBay about a month ago, and they arrived this weekend, and I wanted to take a closer look at them. Really nice ones, and they were all at auction, and the seller had a number of really nice ones, but these are the ones I went with, and I wanted to show them to you before I sent them off for grading next month. The first is clearly the most accomplished of the bunch here. This is a first generation Polish bootleg Boba Fett, just an absolutely gorgeous figure. It's, you know, I'd say probably 75 plus, 80-ish condition. He's got a few minor nicks and dings and some damage on the foot, but really nice example though of a first generation Boba Fett. He's got the gold paint around the visor. It's got kind of the light greenish teal for the armor, and the belt is also painted the same color. Now there are a number of different variations for this Polish bootleg first generation Boba Fett, but this is the most common example. You can see the rocket pack there and some of the other features. He's got the Biker Scout arms and legs, which is typical for these Polish, and we can take a look at him here next to my third generation. This is a third generation with the dark gray and the dark green with the gold visor, and so you can kind of see it's very similar in style, but obviously the first generations have hand-painted paint instead of kind of more factory paint like you see here, and he's missing the gold on the elbow pad, on the knee pads. For the first generation bootleg Boba Fett's, the less common example is you won't see the paint on the belt, on the utility belt. It'll just be flat gray instead. That's very rare. I've only seen one or two examples of that, but a really nice example. And I already had a first generation blaster to match up with him. I got this, gosh, a long time ago, probably 6 months ago or more. But this is a translucent blue. If you hold this up to light, it is translucent, and you can see that it's got a lot of wear and tear on it. But this is a first generation Polish bootleg blaster that I'll match up with the Boba Fett when I send him in. So I don't know how CAS is going to factor in the condition of this blaster versus Boba Fett. You know, but I think that the Boba Fett is not mint enough that I think it'll hurt it too much. So, you know, I'm guessing if I had to throw a round number out on what it's going to come back with, I bet it comes back with a 75 plus. So I'm okay with that. So it's, you know, for first generation Polish bootlegs, it's, you know, it's very difficult to get, at least for the articulated. It's very tough to get really high grades on them, but that is just awesome. I'm excited to have a third generation now to go with my first generation. The next one is an unarticulated first generation bootleg. Luke and his X-Wing gear. I've got a number of these in grading. This is, you know, you can see it's also got the Biker Scout limbs, but these are unarticulated. This is like a grayish kind of color. There are a number of different colors. I've seen red, blue, green, and then this gray are the most common. So I think I've got a red and a green at grading right now. But this is a mint example, just really great shape. I bet this one comes back with an 85. I'd be surprised if it does not. But really cool figure. You know, I was reading in the book on Polish bootlegs that this figure is one of the least desired among collectors. But I don't know. I really like it. He is kind of frumpy looking, and his face looks nothing like Luke. But it's just such a cool figure, in my opinion. And I love all the different color variations. But I've got a number of Luke X-Wings, including the next one that you're going to see here. This is a first generation articulated Luke X-Wing, and very loose limbs because, you know, these first generation, I wish the camera would stay focused. Sorry, guys. I wish the first generation bootlegs that are articulated have cones for holding the arms and legs in instead of more of a socket joint. So this arm is extremely loose. But another nice example, I've got a number of third gens that are due back any day now from CAS, so we'll be able to compare once they're all done. But you know, he's got kind of an orange skin color there. It looks like he's been out in the sun too long, but You know, it's a pretty nice example. And this one also too came with the with his blaster. So you got kind of a bootleg blaster to go with it. That's kind of like the mold for it. This is a nice example though. So that'll look really cool having those graded next to each other. And then finally, we got a pretty rough condition Han Solo. I didn't have any Han Solos, and I only paid $30 for this, and I was buying, you know, all these at auction in a lot, or not in a lot, but, you know, in separate auctions. But I figured with the combined shipping, why not? It was only $30, but, you know, he's pretty rough condition. His face paint is got some staining or whatever, and I think his thumb might be cut off there. So, not, you know, maybe Jabba cut it off for dumping his Imperial cargo at the first sign of an Imperial, and whatever, you know what I'm saying. But anyway, you know, very similar in style to the first 12 version of Han Smuggler. The rest of him is in great shape, though. It's just his face and hand there took some damage, so I'm not expecting a high score, but given what I paid for it, I cannot complain. I think it was $31 for this one. So anyway, 4 really nice examples, though, of some first-generation Polish figures, and so those will go out next month, and I'm waiting on the mailman patiently because I've got some really nice items to show you guys. You know, some of the nicest items in my collection now that kind of popped into my lap, so I'm very excited to show them to you. So I hope to have another video later today if I can make it happen. So anyway, I just wanted to show these to you, and thank you for watching.